day. Yes. Get your 8 hours of sleep. Make sure your diet is conducive to a healthier state of mind. So what I mean by that is another video. In a nutshell, live foods make us feel better. Meaning salads, fruits. You know, I'm not suggesting to eat raw. I don't. If you can, good for you. Why not do that? Try that for a week. It's good. Fasting is good. Speak to your doctor and see how you can handle that, and what steps you should take if that is going to be your choice. Proteins. Your proteins, make sure you get your proteins, your omega-3, vitamins. If you don't want to take vitamins, make sure your meal plan is right, where at least you are. I know some people say you don't need 3 meals a day. I choose to differ. So, make sure if you're coming to me and asking me, this is what I'm going to tell you. Have your breakfast, have your lunch, and have your dinner. Best before 6 o'clock. If it's at 8 o'clock, whatever. If you work the night shift, apply common sense. To each their own. For breakfast, to each their own. I choose to go heavier during breakfast because I'm a carb girl. Sometimes, I'll do, depending on my mood, because we're doing this according to your mood. You're not feeling so well, or you're going to be overwhelmed, if you're working on stuff, whatever your situation, just do what works for you, what you really enjoy. Go ahead and do your proteins. If you want to go heavy, if you have to go heavy, do your proteins. Do your carbs, but be conscious about it. Fruits throughout the day, nuts throughout the day is great. Not overly doing that either, because if you're conscious about your body weight, they will interfere, especially because you don't see it coming, because it's fruits and nuts. Me gaining weight off of that, yes, we do. So, all right, sleep, the meal, the communications you got going on throughout the day. Someone likes to be on the phone too long, too often. You gotta break it to them that, you're working on your mental health. Things are not, as you're not feeling your best. So you gotta cut that out, If they're good people, if they're your people, they're gonna fall in place, and that's how you realize who your friends are actually, when you start setting boundaries. So I guess number 3 would be boundaries. Set your boundaries, and simultaneously you'll know who's your people. So boom, you got that. 4, when we look good, we feel good, we do good. So focus on, if you not, I shared a story. I unfortunately put it on private for now, or maybe I'll revisit, make another video about that vulnerable moment I shared without adding the reasons why I took it and put it private. Is that I went years, there were times where I didn't want to leave the house. That I don't know if it, worked together, but at the same time, I didn't own the mirror in years. So, yeah, I didn't own the mirror in years. Only to brush my teeth with, the medicine cabinet. I didn't care about how I looked. Like, I just, I would put on my makeup and stuff like that. I get you out. If you know me, I like to dress. Even on my lowest days, like those days where I was only doing sneakers and stuff like that, I was good though. However, so people wouldn't know. People wouldn't know. If you didn't come to my house, you didn't know that about me. It didn't contribute to my best interest. So, to make a long conversation short, take a look in the mirror if you haven't in a while. What are the things, like a real look, even if you're down for 2 days, like, oh, I didn't know this was happening. I didn't know all this got like that. I didn't know, eating a freaking ice the way I do, chip my dang tooth. Lord, look at it so you can get it fixed. So if you can, and you can't, everything can get fixed with time. Everything one step at a time. I'm not doing this to stress you. This is to better connect and with yourself, which is number 5 on the day. Last but not least, to better your mental health, so that way you have a chance at least. Because what happens is when we ignore these things, when we ignore the feeling, and we ignore those feelings that we don't feel well and stuff like that, just negative clouds, you wake up and just something don't feel right and things like that. Sometimes it's a chemical imbalance, almost all the time. That has something to do, with depression. Most negative effects that we have, mental effects that, mental issues that we come across, that we experience, stem from chemical imbalance, but also because of what we choose to live with and not. You have to speak. If you don't want to speak to someone, or even if you are, I'm keeping it real, because somebody's going to tell you have to speak to someone. Everyone's not going to speak to someone. So to you, that's not going to do that. That's not going to let out what's bothering you. I ask you to keep it real with yourself, at least. Talk to yourself if that's the only option for you at this time. At some point in life, you're going to talk to someone or people. You might avoid talking to a doctor and solely speak to people of all kind, and or a psychic, a bartender, whatever the case may be. Do that though, whatever makes you feel good. And then in between time, make sure you have some time in the mirror. And then whatever it is, if you look at yourself, you happy with yourself or you're not happy with yourself, you want to change your hair, don't worry about the neighbors, the friends, the kids, the relatives, whatever the case. Change your hair. Excuse me, you want a mohawk? Do that. You want braids? Do that. You want a blowout? Do that. Get you together. for yourself, not for anyone else. Not because someone's telling you to, or anything like that, or you think this is what someone else likes or prefers. Nah, will make you feel good. And then last but not least, number 5, that spiritual time. You might believe in God, you might not. Whatever your beliefs are, learn about the universal laws. Right? So, there's fact, there's fiction, there's opinions, there's this, there's that, but then there's the universe and the power that could bring you and bring into your life. See how that works for you. Connect with your inner voice. I would like to say your inner God. Realistically, some of you watching, that will be watching, will not, necessarily feel like I feel. I believe in God all the way. I have reason to believe. I can preach about it, like, for real. God is real in my book. Possibly not to you, or you haven't experienced it yet. But fine. Spend some you time speaking to you, connecting with you, your inner voice, and your inner child. As much as it hurts, all of this sounds easy. No, this is taking me years. I do this all. I fall off from time to time, but never in a way where I feel like I felt when I was in those age brackets, and even younger than that. So you might want to take heed to something. I hope everything, because it's important, and it is a new year, so the timing for that message couldn't have been better. Excuse the snoring. So let me go ahead with this reading, and see what the message is today.